Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? So today is January 16th. It's now 11 in the morning, and I just got up because I can get up whenever I want since I work for myself, guys. It's kind of nice. So it is 11 in the morning, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, right? The reason why you want to pay attention to Bitcoin is because regardless of what coin you are trading right now, Bitcoin is going to have a major effect on it. Imagine Bitcoin as a coin that will drag every other coin to hell. And it does that every time it does this massive downtrend, right? So we want to focus especially on Bitcoin because it'll signal a very good time for you to buy altcoins, right? As Bitcoin will rises, it will also bring up the value of Bitcoin as well, or sorry, of your altcoin as well. So the reason I'm paying attention to Bitcoin especially is because I'm paying attention to Metaverse, and specifically right now, I'm accumulating an immense amount of Metaverse. I'm over 10,000 Metaverse now. It's going to get up to maybe 20 to 30,000. Hopefully it's going to be my one big play for the year, or for the month rather. I mean, it's at $2.70 right now. Even if it went up to like $4, you know, I'm going to be making some pretty good bank on that. And I noticed that that of course, once again, altcoins, they sing to the tune of Bitcoins. And yeah, and I'm also interested in Ripple right now, right? Who wouldn't be interested in Ripple? It's extremely oversold right now at $1.20. And even if it got back up to like the $2 ranges, I think we'd all be pretty happy and we'd be singing there, right? So some long-term plays, we see Bitcoin just taking a nosedive here still right now. And we're going to go over a lot of the different scenarios, okay? But first of all, I want to explain some of the theory to you. We have ABC corrective waves coming down like this. All right? Now, do you guys know where people are getting this $8,000 scenario from? Okay, they got this $8,000 scenario for Bitcoin like this. First of all, you take this point here for Fibonacci. This is the second point of Fibonacci, and that's the third point of Fibonacci. And what people say is that ABC zigzags, we will assume it does a 1-to-1 correction. And a 1-to-1 correction, the distance from here to A is the same distance from right here, from B to C. Hence the 100 correction, okay? So if it did a correction only to here, well, what would that be? That would be a 50% extension, right? That means that it would have done 50% of A's range right there. And that's where the 50%, I'm drawing it all incredibly wrong. But you guys get what I mean, like the size of the box. I mean. So C there would be 50%, of the movement of A. Now there are two different combinations of methods that people use, not combinations, but two factors. Okay, I'm going to draw some support lines to the extreme methods from tip to tip, from the lowest low possible, like right around here pretty much, all right? Okay, now this formed right here already, and this formed. Okay, we are going to count the waves first of all to confirm them. And I'm going to do a very detailed job of doing this now. So here, maybe not on a 2-hour chart, let's say on a 3-hour chart. Alright, I can dig this one. Let's try to count the subwaves first in here, okay? On the big ones, after we see fractals. Let's go to 2-hour. So that's a good 5-wave extension coming down there. Therefore, this would mean that it would have to go like that, right? So if that were the 5 waves, then this right here are the 3 waves coming down. That makes 5 waves right there. All right, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. So now it does some sort of ABC correction up here. A, B, C. Now this section, we were trying to figure it out still, but I think I have figured it out. So therefore, if that does the A, B, C in there, this one is A, where it makes a 5-wave zigzag. That whole point is B. And C is somewhere down there. Now, where is C? Let me show you guys where this 8,000 scenario came from. So, this is a really hot support zone. Right around here, right? Right around, basically all of this area right there. I'm going to say, we're going to make it long and just drag it over. Like right around here, right on top of it, we can say. Now, we have this one buy zone. On the lower end, of course, we got this side here, okay? So there's two different ways to draw your support. One is, of course, this way that I'm doing it right now, where we're taking the lowest points of it, and the other method we're using is, excuse me, I have to sneeze. I'm coming down with a cold. My whole family is sick right now, and every time I visit them, I just see them like dying, you know. So I think I'm getting the flu. Yeah, my dad's like on antibiotics right now already. So yeah. So we draw from the bottom extreme here. I'm always checking on ETP, and also we draw it from the top side here. So then we get two different ranges, right? Of this support zone right here. We get the bottom end. I apologize if that's not pleasant to hear. You guys might be hearing it for a little bit. For a while, maybe 2-3 weeks, I'm guessing. I'll try to mute the microphone though when I do that. So we get this range for a buy zone, and this range is, you know, around a little bit higher than the 8,000 case. And the second way that they're extrapolating it as well right now is like this, with an ABC extension, with a 1-to-1 extension, okay? So right here is where people are actually projecting a Bitcoin dump, which is kind of scary actually, to the $8,000 scenario. Like we're talking under 10,000, right? Okay, now that we've got that established, we have to do a trend line analysis other than an Elliott wave analysis. Now, if we do Elliott wave analysis on a daily chart, these are some arguments that people would make. We're looking for a 5-wave zigzag down, and people would say, oh yeah, that's 5 waves right there. 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5, like that. All right. For argument's sake, we're gonna say right there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, we got two different rules that are broken. One rule is that wave 3 is the shortest. Okay. This wave 3 is shorter than all the waves down. It's shorter than wave 1 and it's shorter than wave 4. So we say, okay, if we somehow made an exception, would this fit? Which we should never do, but we should always talk about that. And the answer is yes, it would fit. Now, another thing that I'm not really a big fan of, that doesn't make it fit well to me, is that I really can't count 5 waves down in here. Coming down. Right? I only count basically one big wave. Okay? I only count one big wave. But it does look like 5 wave. Now, what if we did this instead? We're going to get our trend line back in here, actually. Now, this might blow your guys' mind. We're just going to go from wick to wick, actually, for this case. Just to get the most conservative approach. Now, what if we drew it like this? Where this was 1. This is so clear, right, guys? The ABC. A, B, C in there, right? And this would be, what if this was 1 right here coming down, okay? And this is the area, general area there. That was 2. And this is 3 somewhere down there. And that is 4. And it makes a 5th somewhere like that. Well, we asked ourselves now, let's verify count, if this is even possible. So all of this is 1, okay? This whole region right here is 1. And I'm going to draw the consolidation patterns. So if we go into, let's say, a 2-hour time frame, we would say that all of this is indeed 1. Actually, from even right there. And then these in here are consolidation. Hold on. I think I'm doing it wrong here. Right in there, like that. So this area is consolidation, okay? I don't know why it's not doing that. Okay, here we go. And then that ends up dropping to the wave 1 there, okay? Like it comes down in a 5th wave like that, maybe. Maybe even the 5th wave, the first wave could be like that, okay? And maybe this could be it right here, where this makes a leading first wave diagonal, where it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, right? Yeah, this makes sense now. 3 and 5, just like that, where it makes a leading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's beautiful. Okay, so now we can confirm that that's wave 1. Now, what is this structure? What if this was wave 1 down here, all of this was wave 2 consolidation, and this is wave 3 somewhere right here, 4 somewhere up there, and then we go 5 down here. So is this a possible variation? And 4 will be somewhere, you know, up there. And then 5 is right here, unfortunately. Okay? And then 5 is indeed on that support line around the between $9,000 to $10,000 scenario. Now we ask ourselves, this consolidation right here is the big consolidation, right? I'm drawing the fractals in. The big consolidation area in a kind of like a descending triangle. That's what it's kind of making, right? If we draw it like that, if we draw it on 1 hour time frame, we can probably get the body a lot better. Like that. Now that makes a descending triangle, so we know that it's part of the fractal that's consolidating. So this has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. This impulse move down has to be a 3rd drop. I mean, there's many different ways to look at this one as well, right? We can start to count from here. We can go 1, 2, and we can say this is 3, and we can say this is 4, and now we can say this is 5, like that. Right? That's definitely one way to do it. A, B, C, D, and E. But then if that was not valid, then it would be because this would be A, B, C, D. Yeah, this would be A. All of this would be A, pretty much. And that would be like, say, C. That would be D. And we get a small touch for an E up there. Therefore, this one would be pretty much where it begins. Or sorry, I meant to say D's right there. And then a super small E touch in here, which finishes off this pattern, right, as the descending triangle there. Or it could have been more like, even like a wedge shape as well, if you see it that way. So then, if that wasn't valid, then we would actually have one more count coming down for this wave. Like that, 3, and this is the 4 consolidation, and you know, this is a 5. So then we, you know, we get wave 3 ending there, and then we get a wave 4. And then we get a wave 5, right? And then we go up, and then possibly actually touch down to the $9,000 region right now. That would be the worst case scenario. But based on my Elliott wave count, those are the possible variations. It's very difficult sometimes to do an Elliott wave count in the heat of the moment, right? So it's very, very possible that these are the scenarios as well that I'm outlining here for you. If we count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah. So maybe there is going to be a subwave in there. Maybe, who knows? So I'm just trying to look for different counting methods. Oh, sorry, this was one over here. Extended fifth we talked about. Then 1. Or even if I did it like that, for example, and I started my 1 wave right here, but then now that makes me wonder why 1, 2. Yeah, that one doesn't fit in either. Doesn't fit my criteria. It has to be like this, I'm guessing. So this is the bearish scenario that I'm talking about. The bearish scenario where we could be down ticking even more. We're not exactly leveling off. Now let's look at everything from every perspective for time frame wise. Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart doesn't look like it's going to be on a tear to go down much further, right? Not too much further. It looks like in a few days it's going to level off. In a few days it's going to level off. We are reaching a critical point. I want to make note of something on the weekly chart, okay? On the weekly chart, right here, this is a horizontal line that has been acting as a support, okay? And right now on the weekly chart, I want to make note that we are approaching a crossover in a few weeks. Based on here, this one here is the 13 or 12 moving average, and the red one is the 13. Now, the blue one might look like it wants to come down like this, right? But what a lot of times it can do is maybe it can do something like that. It can come down slightly, then curve, and then come back up immediately. And then, later it comes down. Now, the red one, because it moves slower to a 26 moving average, just ends up going across like that still. It goes upwards, right? So we've all seen crossovers like that where the red one doesn't really change in terms of direction, or it still keeps going the way it is, but the blue one will curve a little bit. Now this weekly RSI support has been generated or has been there since the beginning of this year. I see it since like January, or beginning of 2016 actually, okay? Beginning of 2016. Now, it has been very, very bullish. So if this breaks around the 51 RSI range that has been acting as a support, then we're going to end up getting into a bear market. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that if Bitcoin doesn't level off soon, it's a possibility. And on the daily chart, if you guys notice, since September, we've had this right here, right, as a support. Here, here, here. Guys, we've broken through it already. Last time we've had that support, break through it, was in September, and that time Bitcoin tanked to $2,980 and everybody got liquidated, remember? Well, not everybody, but I remember that time. So we might be reaching a new support zone, which is around here, which is now the 30 RSI support. Yeah, the 30 RSI support goes back for forever, like right around this region, okay? Like in this one here dipped to 20 on September 19. But nevertheless, around that range in a bearish scenario. We also, I'm sorry guys if that wasn't pleasant to hear. I don't like being sick. We're also taking a look at the 3-hour chart, okay? The 4-hour chart, it's reaching dangerously oversold zones already. Last time we reached those zones was on December 21st. and we just keep going back, and you know, it's been a while since we reached them, and whenever we have, like the last time we reached it, say here, that was that November one, the one in November where it tanked, and here was just the one on December 22nd, I bet. Yeah, December 22nd. So are we done our 5 Elliott wave zigzags, right? That's the big question. Is that 1 right here? That's basically 2. 1, 2. This is somewhere 3, 4, and 5. If that's the case, then we can still count Elliott waves here. This is 1, 2, you know, all of this is 3, 4. Get a small 5th, a 4th wave up there, and possibly a 5th wave touchdown there. So this scenario, guys, is we'll just average it out, and we'll say that this is the under $10,000 scenario, okay? If that's the case like that. Because I see absolutely no signs right now of leveling off, guys. Not a single sign of leveling off right now at all. So I wish I could say that that something is happening here right now that's showing me it's leveling off, but because there's nothing, I have to assume my bearish scenario. So this could be 2. I mean, that's a possibility as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, right? Where this one is still 1. 4, you know, and we make a 4th touch somewhere still. But just based on Elliott wave counting, yeah, it's based on Elliott wave counting. It's that's definitely a possibility. Since I made this video, we've downticked $200 already. So we look on the 1 hour chart, right? And the 1 hour chart looks like eventually it wants to level off to do that. But because we're still down ticking right now to get some lower lows, and the RSI is not really leveling off, like we haven't had one single scenario where it has been bullish. Maybe this one, if it only down ticks a little bit, and then the 45-minute one finally goes up like that, that's a possibility. This one here tried to make a positive uptick, but it got shot down fast. Usually what this happens is it rounds off like that. And this one, just imagine if it was red, just keeps hovering like that, and eventually it comes down and it comes up like that. So I'm pretty much full bear mode right now, guys. I mean, we look at this and it's still making 5 waves for this specific subwave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's still a 5 waves. So if that was 5 subwaves, okay, one, yeah, if that was 5 subwaves, then, and all of this was 1, right here, like basically up to this point, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna have to assume that this might make something like that, because then now this is the first wave in here that we're counting already. This is the second wave. The third wave is still forming, looks like. You know, 4th wave and a 5th wave. So you guys just imagine for a second, okay? Imagine for a second there is a coin like Ripple, okay? Like Ripple, which is $1.20 right now. And then you catch Bitcoin near the bottom. Just think of that for a second. You catch Bitcoin near the bottom and you see a really big bounce with lots of volume, lots of clear indication that there's a reversal that's imminent, right? And then you buy a coin like Ripple, That's $1.20 right now, okay? And then it goes up to $2.20 because it rides up with Bitcoin. Just imagine that scenario for a second, okay? Or for example, myself, who's holding over 10K ETP right now, right? It's not a lot. It's nothing to a lot of people, but you know, everybody has different strategies and we all play different position sizes according to, or that will suit our personality, right? And you guys know me, I don't play really big positions like 100Ks and up. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my position size, but just think about this for a second where you buy even a normal number like 2,000 Ripple, okay? What's 2,000 Ripple right now? That's $2,000, $2,400 because it's $1.20 each, right? That's $2,400 only, okay guys? So then all of a sudden it goes up to $2.20, and your $24 investment, your $2,400 investment just doubled. Or sorry, it went up to 220 cents, okay? And it went up $1. Where your 2,000 Ripple, you just got $1,000 out of it right there just for being patient. Or sorry, you got $2,000 out of that for being patient, okay? So right now, when Bitcoin is at the absolute bottom, you want to pay attention to it for when it bounces, okay? You want to look at every coin right now and make note that it is in dangerously oversold zones right now. And the main reason why people are not buying anything yet, guys, is because Bitcoin is still figuring it out. But once Bitcoin does figure it out, if it goes on an uptrend, you will see altcoins soar to new highs if we are going to like 25K Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin is going to finish up a consolidation pattern first. I still think that it is, but you guys look at every single altcoin right now, this territory that is in. We are talking about in 18 RSI zones, okay? We look at my coin, ETP especially, okay? I am not showing this coin, I just talk about things from my experience. You guys look at this right here, a coin like this one where I've got a potential to do more than double on it. I'm a big fan, you guys know me, I love my risk to reward setups, and I look for ones with very, very little risk with high reward. And this on bitfinex is by far the best play that I can possibly think of to do more than 100% very soon. So this here I'll say 550 psychologically. So I'm looking at my coin right now in the 4-hour chart and it's so oversold. It is so oversold right now. So then I think to myself, hey, if I'm hitting all these support zones for my coin right now, since like basically November, right? And I'm reaching dangerously oversold zones already, heck, I've got a chance to do something like this with my coins. And I'm not just talking about this coin, I'm talking about every coin. I've got a chance to do over 100% right now with ETP. So of course I'm going to be interested in Bitcoin. Let's go look at Ripple. I'll be very interested in Ripple soon too. You know, when you wake up and you're just like, oh, I know I'm getting sick. It sucks, that feeling. So Ripple right now, okay, in daily chart, it's reaching oversold zones already. Not oversold, but it's definitely down ticking hard. It's super oversold here right now. Even if there was a slight bounce, okay? Let's go to a 4-hour chart on Ripple. Even if there was a slight bounce, like we're basically staying within this channel, right? Even if there was a slight bounce on Ripple, guys, we're talking about on Ripple, let's just say it bounces at $1.10. We're still talking about like some immense gains if it breaks out of the flag. It might even shoot up to like, hold on, I got a cough. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose as well. Oh, I know I'm getting sick, guys. I feel so stuffy. I woke up today and I just felt this like super duper cold. And then my parents texted me that then my mom's like, yeah, your dad is pretty sick. You must be too. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I just feel myself getting sick. My nose is like so stuffy right now. And like I'm just getting body chills and like aches right now, and I don't even want to go anywhere. This is so cold. It's like -40 outside right now, guys. So Ripple, if you want to target the top resistance, right, that looks like it's wedging, it's still a pretty decent risk to reward. It's still like 30%. You just put your stop slightly below it. But then you would want to target higher than that at least the 55 EMA. So it's like 60-70% gains on every single coin right now, guys. On other coins, over 100% gains. So 100%, I'm going to be extremely, extremely interested in it. So I've talked about the possibilities, okay, guys? And I also want to talk about this possibility as well, where it makes a channel like this down here. Okay? And that forms some sort of bullish flag consolidation. And we'll be able to see very soon as well. Because clearly we broke this type of ascending triangle, right? Where we put our mouse on the most price activity around here and it broke. So the next one would be right around here. But that's also a decent support zone. Take a look at it. Decent support zone right here. Decent. Nothing extreme. So guys, we have to factor all this in right now. We'll just take the average of, this area, right? This can make a buy zone just somewhere in here. For a lot of people, a really good buy zone could be even now. To some people, that's why the volume's getting crazy. Some people might be buying soon to accumulate. But I think that we're more so going to try to test the bottom end of this wick right here. Bottom end of this wick is 10,700. And then we're going to test the lower ends of this support, right? And we want to test, above. Honestly, guys, like, it just doesn't look bullish in any way. There are no long wicks at all. It's just lots of sell-offs right now. Like, and we're at 11K right now. Like, we could very well level off and create this ascending triangle, guys. Okay? That's very possible. Or we might even end up, if we just go wick to wick in extreme rare fashion, and just take an average of that area, we could even go lower, depending on how we draw our support line, right? Lower to these regions here, like right around here. We're talking about under like 10,800, like between 10,000 and 10,500 zone, right? And if that doesn't hold, then we're gonna have to say, oh shucks, we gotta draw our support differently. And like that looks pretty decent as well, where it could land somewhere in here, right? Now, if that doesn't land in there, right, it might just sideways for a little bit, who knows? We might even end up landing right in here, in this zone, where the apex meets, of these particular regions right there. But right now, as it stands, there's not a single bullish candle, guys. This one, everyone probably thought, that's a hammer right there. Yeah, it was a hammer. It was a hammer, all right, but if you look at a higher time frame, like a 1 hour chart, guys, there's nothing supportive about this at all, okay? Nothing supportive at all. So, yeah. I wish there was a single thing in here that I could say about Bitcoin that makes it look bullish. So what could happen is, we could get a flag consolidation in there. This could entirely break, and a flag pattern won't even be possible yet, right? And we might just get something in here for now that's wedged. Oops, I'm looking for my triangle. Here it is. We might get a pattern like that just wedges in here, because Bitcoin will want to bounce into this region down over here. Down right in these regions. $10,500 to 10,000, right? Sorry, I mean to say more so between 10 to 11,000, okay guys? That's a good number. 10,000 to 11,000. They're just very round numbers psychologically. So right now we're at 11,000 already. So like basically under 11,000, keep an eye on it. Under 10,500, even keep more of an eye on it. Closer to 10,000, definitely, because we're reaching this support trend line now. So everyone is on the fence right now. And unfortunately, guys, we don't have a lot of control over things like this. I mean, it's sad to say, but I don't think a lot of us have a few $100 million to throw around, right? I mean, I don't even think a lot of us have 100 or 10 million. 10 million. Anyways, guys, but that's the truth of the matter, right? Like, I don't have $10 million, guys. If I had $10 million, I probably wouldn't be doing this as much anymore as well, other than for a hobby, right? 10 million is a pretty big number, even for trading, say, Bitcoin. I'm sure that a lot of people play with 500,000 to 2 million or something like that. A majority of the bigger players, right? I'm sure some people also play with between like, you know, like 500 to 2,000 or a lower amount as well, or under 10K. So it's completely out of our control. It's on an investor level now. And here we are, under 11,000, guys. We're fighting it. So as it stands, you guys got to keep a watch out for it, okay? Got to keep an eye out for it now that it's under 11,000. We could be falling very well between like under 11,000 to 10,000 range. We could find support anywhere in that psychological range above 10K. So that if that support fails, guys, if this support fails, then we go to a lower support region around here, like around 8,500. You know, like much lower support, under 10,000. Under 10,000, above 8,000. I know these are extreme ranges, but we have to keep in mind that there is an $8,500 scenario. We'll go 8,500 to be safe, just around here. So yeah, keep an eye on it between 10,000 to 10,005 especially, but now as well, since it's under 11K. If it falls under 10K, guys, we're going to see possibilities around the 8,000 regions, 8,500 regions. So we've talked about pretty much every single scenario, but the one scenario that we want to talk about as well are possible bounces, okay? So obviously now that if it does bounce somewhere now, we got some pretty extreme ranges, right? If it does fall under to this level right here, 10,700, then that's going to act as a resistance on the way up and around that range as well, right? And as well, it's going to act as a as a sloped resistance here as well. So all of these points will actually meet it, right? So if it breaks, for example, this point here, the yellow line will act as a resistance. If it breaks here, the yellow line will act as a resistance. And then on the longer time frame, okay, on the higher time frames or the longer terms, this yellow line acts as a resistance. So let's say we bounce off between the 9 to 10,000 ranges, or we even bounce off of between like now, right, 10,700 ranges, since we have this lower end wick that acts as a support as well, barely, right? We got some major resistances. We got some major resistance at 12,500 coming up, maybe right here at 12,800. And then if we break that, we got other major resistances as well, especially the sloped one, like around 14,600. So Bitcoin's got a lot of different obstacles to overcome before it can make crazy new highs. But regardless of how it stands, a pattern will emerge. Possibly a pattern like that. Possibly a pattern like this. Possibly a pattern like that. Right? Possibly a pattern like this. A flag. In here. So regardless of the pattern that emerges, we're just trying to guess right now. We're just trying to guess possibilities. And if I go back on the daily chart and I actually look at this candle, that's a really nasty candle, guys, on the daily. Like, it is so nasty right now. It just, ugh, man, is that ever nasty. Not only that, if we do Fibonacci retracement, because it's not going to retrace pretty much the entire thing, we see that it has only retraced about 382 regions mainly, right? Only 382 regions mainly. And, you know, it could even get up to the 0.5 regions. And if it goes to 618 regions, these are all where these 8K scenarios come from, guys. So there you guys have it. These are my 2 cents on it. If you guys enjoyed my videos, you are welcome to like, subscribe, and you know, to YouTube and to Twitter as well, because I tweet a bunch of stuff on there as well. And I also have a Steemit blog where you are welcome to upvote it if you are enjoying my videos. And I've also got a cryptocurrency piggy bank that you're welcome to donate to for my dog's just emergency funds here and there. So have yourselves a great day, and please, please be cautious. I warned everybody on Twitter last night to be extra cautious because even I was scared, right? And when I'm scared, guys, of the market, yeah, I got balls of steel, as you guys know already. I've got really strong hands in the market. I rationalize things out very well. You guys have seen me play some well thought out plays where I could have taken a big loss instead. And I'm scared of Bitcoin. The last time I was scared of Bitcoin, guys, was September, like around the September 15 date, where that tanked to 29.80. And the time before that was December 22nd, right? Where we had a pretty massive correction right here. Right around here, this date. Okay, the very last one coming down. Those were the last two times I was scared. And here's the other time before that. I was right, September 15 dates. September 15, December 22nd. Always remember those dates, guys. So, and now, I'm scared right now. I'm feeling the panic in the market. I am seeing altcoins drop by 40% in hours, okay? I've seen ETP drop from 450-ish for 20 ranges to $2.20. I've seen SAN drop from $7 ranges to $3.20, 40-cent ranges. So yes, right now is a time to be extra careful. If you guys are scared right now, do not have a FOMO mode at all. What you guys should be doing is you should be exercising caution right now. If you're feeling a little bit, you know, scared of what's going on, don't have FOMO. Just keep your cards off the table and your money out of the market. I'm no financial advisor, but this is just common sense, right? During times like this, it can be very unpredictable. So what? You don't catch it on the bottom. You can always catch it when an uptrend is confirmed, right? So please be extra cautious. Times like this are the best times for people to get liquidated, and I don't want to see you guys get liquidated. And I'm sure that you guys have all been there before. I know that I have a few years ago, like 2 years ago, liquidation emails were popping up left and right from Polonians, you know? So things like that happen. And yeah, so please be extra cautious. I don't want to see my Twitter or my YouTube comments be full of things like, oh, damn it, I got liquidated, you know, so yeah, so if you guys like my stuff, you guys know what to do. I'll see you guys down the road. I gave you guys my $8,500 bearish scenario. See you later.